You see these dark circles around here? They're because I slept at 5:30 a.m. last morning. It's because I just had to finish the ending of Mr. Robot, which is an amazing ending by the way, and Game of Thrones needs to learn something from it. But here I am, sleepy-eyed and making videos about Visa because my fans need them, and my fans mean everything to me. But obviously after my friends and family, and also after my future wife, and also after a bunch of other things. If you have an offer of admission and is planning to go to the US, congratulations, hope you have a nice time ahead in the United States. However, before that happens, meet the devil known as US F-1 visa, which is going to make your life a literal hellhole. However, I am here to give you a comprehensive guidance about everything. This guidance is going to be divided into 3 parts. Part A, which is this video, is going to explain to you the overall process, what to do, which documents to fill up, how the overall process happens. In Part B, we're delving a bit deeper in depth onto the documents, which is DS-160 document and how you take your appointment, how you pay. Basically a comprehensive guidance of filling up each question, each everything. Just like how I made my CSS profile video, similar to that. And Part C, which is probably going to be consisting a lot of videos, is going to be about interviews, how you go for interview, what are the common questions, and how you should answer them, what they expect from you. So, without further ado, let's go. Sorry. But first, let's make something abundantly clear. US visa is extremely different as compared to other countries' visa systems. For example, when I wanted to go to India, I needed a visa. What I did was I submitted my passport along with a few documents to the visa processing center. And after a few days, they're like, hey, your visa is stamped, collect your passport. It's as easy as that, fairly simple. US visa is substantially different. Essentially what happens is that you sit in front of a US diplomat on your home country in their embassy or consulate, and they take an interview of you. After the end of the interview, which is usually around 5 to 10 minutes, they either say your visa is approved and they keep your passport saying collect it after 7 days when your visa is stamped, or they give back your passport and say we are sorry, please apply again. But we got too ahead of ourselves. Let's go back to the first step of the overall process. The most important document that you'll need to manage is known as the I-20, and it looks something like this. The I-20 contains a lot of information that the visa officer wants to see. It contains your name, the university's name, the major you want to study, how much scholarship you got, if any, and how much it's going to cost you, and some other stuff. It also contains this service ID, which is going to be important just a bit later. You may receive your I-20 through email, which is an electronic form, or through mail, the physical copy back in your hand through USPS or UPS or whatever the university wants to send you. UTDALA sent me a physical copy as well as an electronic copy. Both are fine, it's absolutely fine, there's no discrimination, don't worry about it. After you get your I-20, you will fill up a form online known as DS-160. And the DS-160 form is huge, it's fairly long, and it asks a lot of questions such as your name, your parents' name, their occupation, when you are likely to go to the US, which university you are attending, if you visited any other country in the last 5 years, if you visited the US. And it's important that you answer all of these questions as accurately and as truthfully as possible, because there are a couple of reasons to it. First, the data, how you fill it, the data is going to be stored into the federal database for the foreseeable future. It means every time that you will have an interaction with the US federal government, this information may be referred to in the future. So if you intentionally or unintentionally put any information wrong, it's going to not to bode well in the future for you. But secondly, and more importantly, all the information that you put here is going to be referred to by the visa officer when you are giving the interview. So if there are any discrepancy between the words that you say and the information that you put in the DS-160, it's also not going to bode well with the visa officer. So and like if you're caught lying, if you actually lied during interview or during filling up the DS-160, assume that your chances of visa approval is going to be 0. So it's very important that you fill up this form as accurately as possible. Like, check it a million times, 100 times. There's no rush. You don't have to fill it in 30 minutes. Spend a week, I don't know, a few days just sifting through, checking, rechecking, asking your friends, asking your family, to cross-check. And then submit it. We will go forward to appointment scheduling. After you have filled up the DS-160, you will go to a portal known as CGI Federal by most people. Basically, you will schedule your appointment there. It's going to ask you a few questions, standard questions, but again, be careful, do not make mistakes here as well. After you are done filling up and you submit, it will prompt you to pay a visa fee, a visa interview fee. Now, in Bangladesh, there's only one way of paying. You go to Eastern Bank Limited and you pay in BDT Taka. However, in other countries, there's option of paying through credit or debit card as well. After you pay, it's going to take them a couple of days to update it on your portal. And after it is updated, then you can go forward and schedule your appointment. Ooh, yeah, finally. Oh, wait, you still have some work to do before you go for your interview. You have to pay something known as the service fee, which is, as of April 2021, will cost you $350. You will have to pay it through credit card and you cannot pay it through bank or whatever. There's option of Western Union, I think, but in general, you will have to pay it online. And remember, I talked about service ID back in I-20. You will need that information to pay the service fee, and you must pay your service fee at least 3 days before you sit for your interview, but it's best if you pay it as early as possible. A week, a month, why the delay? Just go ahead and pay. And then finally, you would have had finished everything and can now go for the interview. The interview, it's complicated. It deserves a whole separate videos, but in general, they ask you, why are you going to the US? What your plans are after you graduate, and how are you going to finance your education. There are some common questions that they ask, and based on your level of confidence and based on the way you answer and what you answer, they either approve or reject your visa. It's a complicated process, and we are going to deal with that in different videos. However, so far, I hope this video was helpful. Next, we are going to tackle how to fill up DS-160 and how to schedule our appointment, and also most definitely deal with interviews, which is the hellhole that I was talking about, and you will see. Hopefully this interview is not going to ruin your dreams of going into the US. But if you like this video and if you help, thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and if you want more content like this, definitely do subscribe, and do please share the word, share this video to your friends, family, teachers, everyone else. See you soon.